Okay, let's go back to our code. The hockey player class, I can forget about that. That's easy. Here's the new one, hockey team class. Okay, this array list and any array list declared like this are free to store all kinds of objects in the same array list. In fact, you should store related items in an array list. So for example, I only want hockey players, and I can do that by putting this restriction on here. This is called a parameterized type. My array list is going to have a parameterized type of hockey player. So now I have an array list of hockey players. I could have called this teammates or team members, something plural and indicative that it's only hockey players. I compiled it, no complaints, and now if I try to put a dog in here, or a bank account in here, or a book in here, it will complain, it will not let me do it. Only hockey player objects are allowed in here. That will make my life much easier. Plus it makes sense. If I have another collection, for example, if I have a collection of coaches, I might make another array list. The parameterized type would be coach, and I could call it coaches. Something like that. Okay. An array list, if I go back, I can see official documentation. I'm still here from before. I can scroll down and find the methods. There's quite a few methods available to all array lists. I can close this because we need to focus on 4 of them. Array lists have these 4 methods. You can remember it as rags. They all have a remove method to take things out of the array list, add things into the array list, get things, for example, what's the first thing, what's the 5th thing, what are all the objects stored in my array list, and size. How many objects are in my array list? Because there could be 0, 1, 2, 50, a billion. You can ask each array list, how many things are in you? Can I get one of the things that are inside you, please? I'm going to put something else inside you. I'm going to take something totally out of you. These are the things we're going to concentrate on for our array lists. 4 methods. You should remember these for your quiz. Rags. Okay, so now I can make a method. I'll start the simplest one. I'm going to use these 4 methods. I'll use this one first. Rags. Nice and simple. Public int get number of players on team. Whatever. Something like this. And it will return this int. Take my collection of players, which has nothing in it now, but it will soon, and calls it its size method. That's exactly what the size method does. There is a problem, a major problem, and I'll show you now. I'll make a hockey team and ask for its number of players. I get a null pointer exception. Here's why. Starting from the top, how many array lists do I have? How many objects do I have? 0. 0. This is only the address of an array list to be created later. The address is set to null. So is this. So is this. All instance variables for objects of classes are set to null automatically by Java. And null does not have a size method. In other words, I do not have an array list yet. All I have is an address set to null right now. It's like asking a homeless person, how big is your house? Their house is null. The question makes no sense. When you see the word new, that's an indication you actually have an array list. Quite often the best place to do that is here. When I create my hockey team, I'll create my array list of players. Players equals new array list, parameterized type, hockey player. A new array list of type hockey players. I can store hockey players in there. Compile, no syntax errors. It's one big long data type now. Array list restricted to hockey players. ArrayList restricted to hockey players. I'll clear this error, and let's ask now. When I create my hockey team, I now create a new array list. So now this is not null anymore. This is not null, and the size should be 0 because I haven't added anything yet. Let's see if that's true. Zero, no problem. Our next video, I'm going to fill this thing in. Public void add player to team. As you can tell by the name of the method, I expect the parameter type here to be hockey player. Something like this would be good. Good names. Add player to team. Well, judging by the name, the parameter type should be a player, a hockey player. And I'll add this in our next video. We're going to make a video for size, remove, add, and get.